This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie! What's on your mind?
Well, back home.
Welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Good to see you, man.
I went to Ireland and all I got was a chest cold. Yeah. But
no bueno,
it's all
dude.
good, my friend. It's all good.
Good to see you, man.
Dude, yeah. How you been?
I'm good, dude. I'm doing well. I'm doing well this week, man. It's been a crazy fucking week, but other than that, I am doing swimmingly. Yeah, better than expected.
I have to apologize to the folks waiting live. It's for the delay. We record here live to tape, whatever, pal. And for whatever reason, my browser did an update and wouldn't recognize my camera. So I had to do a quick figure that fuck out what was going on, and got back online and should be good to go now. Should be good to go. It doesn't help that I'm on grandmom's cough medicine, but doing good, man. Yeah, just it's been I had a great honeymoon over to Ireland.
Yeah,
last week. Ready to go back.
I'm sure.
I didn't want to leave.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you didn't want to come home.
Oh no. And just like any good trip, it's just like we went into it knowing that it was going to come and go in a blink of an eye, and it did. But it was so much fun. So much fun. We left here on a Wednesday night, landed Thursday morning. Got to Dublin. Got one of the cool things we like to do is we'll hop on they got like little shuttle buses to run downtown, so we hopped on the bus, got downtown, went to our hotel, dropped our bags off, freshed ourselves up, and then went on a 9-hour six pub rural pub tour through the mountains of around in and around Dublin, which was an amazing time. And got to the cool thing is going into something like that you've done before, is what to expect, but seeing new faces on there, experiencing it for the first time, and then when they find out you've done this before, they then you become like the not the tour guide, but part there it's the main tour guide, and then we're like the people that go, oh, so what can we expect? And it's kind of cool. But it was a great time. It's funny, there's this one pub that was like in the middle in a local pharmacy, and it's something you have to see, and or something you have to do to experience it. But like we walked in the second time, and like the same people were in the same seats at the pub that was there like a year and a half ago. So it was like kind of cool catching up with the people, but it was great.
Awesome.
We spent a day where we're the cool thing about Ireland being so small is we went from East Coast to West Coast in like 2 hours. We spent a day. We took a bus over to Galway and walked around and did some sightseeing and some shopping, and came back. And then before we left, I was like, man, I'm gonna miss the Eagles game, right? I'm gonna be in Ireland, right? But thanks to the folks that have there's a Twitter page, British Irish Eagles fans. I hope I'm saying that right. They start promoting a watch party where, there's a local bar, J.R. Mahone's, which I know I'm mispronouncing. Pat McAfee went there a few weeks ago for College Game Day.
Mm.
So
I remember that video. Yeah, I remember watching it. Yeah.
yeah, so he was, he had a good time over there, and then he, that J.R. Mahone's is where they were having the Eagles Saints viewing party. That was run by a guy named Mike McQuaid, who's from NFL Ireland.
Mm.
And it was a good time. It was a good time. It's kind of interesting watching a 1:00 game at like 6:00 at night.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And another cool thing is just everything from you're going to a viewing party in Ireland, and you get fans coming in that are like fans of like all the different teams.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
maybe like, besides me and Mrs. Meanie, there was another Eagles fan, but then we had like Raiders fans, Steelers fans, and a couple Saints fans that were a little bit vocal, especially when the Eagles were losing, and then the Eagles had their little comeback there, and they piped down. But it was a great experience. And I'll say one thing, man. I say this every time. You go over to Ireland and you drink a Guinness, and the Guinness over there is way better than the United States.
Yeah.
And J.R. Mahone's had their like own like stout that was kind of like a version of Guinness. And I think Pat McAfee put this over on his show, but it's almost just as good as Guinness. So I was like, between Guinness and ciders, I've had my share of Irish alcohol for I think it lasts me like a month, especially starting off the pub tour, and then just going on casual walks, having a pint here and there, walking around Dublin and sightseeing and having a good time, man.
That's great, man. It looked like you guys had a great time. I was following your adventures on the Instagram and the Twitter, and I was going to ask you, you and Mrs. Meanie ended up on the what was that, the World Cam or something like that, and yeah, what was that? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's I think it's World Cam, right?
I think so.
World Cam's got cameras everywhere. New York, everywhere. It's World Cam, right? So they have one in Dublin, which we watch often. It's like, okay, there's nothing on TV. Let's just throw on the World Cam, for fucking background noise while we stare at our phones. And that's what we're doing like 2 days into it. And like there's a section of Dublin called Temple Bar. It's a section, but then there's a bar there called the Temple Bar. The pub called the Temple Bar. But everything in Temple Bar is Temple this, Temple that, Temple blah, 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 blah. So I would like we were going to do a tour called Dublinia, which is a really good tour. If you ever go to Dublin, it's all about when the Vikings came to Ireland and stuff like that, and displays a really cool history lesson. So we had a little bit of time to kill, and we're like, let's go find out where that World Cam is. And she knew. Mrs. Meanie, like hyper focused. I had people hit me up going, "Hey, can you give me? I want to go over. I want to go overseas one day. Can you give me ideas?" I was like, "Bro, I just follow Mrs. Meanie. She has maps and things pinned on maps, and it's like she's like the ultimate tour guide. So she knew where the World Cam was, and we walked up to it and found it. We saw it, and I popped. And so like I opened up my phone because if you're going over there, like depending on your carrier, you should still be able to use your phone without having to get like a new SIM card.
Yeah.
For excuse me, I'm still in Ireland time. Believe it or not.
I was gonna say, yeah. Are you still jet lagged as shit? I'm sure.
It's easier going there.
Yeah.
Because to go there, you stay up all day, you stay up the entire flight, and then you go and have your day. And then when you go to bed that night, when you wake up, you're on their time.
Right.
But coming back, I didn't go to sleep. It's daytime. Our flight was delayed, but like say we left at 4 p.m., we would land at 7 p.m. And then you still have a rest of a day. So you go to sleep, but you're still on double time.
Yeah.
So we went and found the Earth Cam. That's
what it's called. Earth Cam. Yeah.
Not World Cam, Earth Cam. So I opened up my phone and opened up the browser. It saw us on there. I'm like, So I was like, let's do some poses. We do a couple poses here and there. And then I would just, screenshot it on my phone and, posted. So I posted to social media as soon as I did, just so I would have a date and a timestamp of when, I was at that, spot for that moment. And then we stopped, through again a couple times. And then, Mrs. Meanie got a great idea of hiring a vacation photographer.
Oh yeah. I was going to ask you, I saw those photos, man.
Yeah, man. Great guy, a guy named Fabrice she found, and he took us around Dublin to all these like really cool spots and took amazing photos. And I posted them to my Instagram, at Blue Meanie BWO. They came out great, but again, we went around the Temple Bar area and took a photo. So you could probably go around looking, see us taking our honeymoon photos on Earth Cam, so
yeah.
But it was such a cool experience. We went there. First time we went to Dublin was for my 50th birthday. Sorry, 50th birthday. Then we did our honeymoon there, and now we're like, Mrs. Meanie turns to me and goes, well, my birthday's in August. So, she planted that seed that we might go back in August.
Love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, just, dude, like I said before, and I said again, everything in Dublin looks like a postcard. And I looked at my hotel window. I'm like, man, look at this.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And the cool thing about going to a place a second time is you learn, we didn't make mistakes, but like, we went in May for my 50th, year and a half ago. There was like a rugby tournament in town. So we had to like find like the only, hotel that wasn't booked up. And this time we were able to get a different hotel in a quieter part of town. And it was so close to, our first time there, everything was like a 15-minute walk to get to where the activities were. Mm-hmm. This time it was like a 5-minute walk or less. So, I mean, it was really cool. Props to Mrs. Meanie for organizing it and getting around. But came back. I was feeling a little bit yucky when I was out there. And now, I'm feeling okay now, but, I had such a great time out there. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah. Looked like like I said, it looked like you guys were having a ton of fun. I'm glad you were able to get out there and enjoy yourself. I was, like I said, living vicariously through you for the week. Looking forward to getting out there too. Mrs. Goober and I keep trying to figure out time we're going to get out overseas and go do all that stuff. And, we're going to get there, but Ireland is definitely on our list to get out there, but happy to have you back, sir. And also happy to have our friends back here at watching live right now at One True Sport and their YouTube page. So I'm going to give a shout out to a couple people. Pod Squad member Luchizzo. Lucha. And Nate Smythe, Sheridan Ford Sales is here as well.
With the sweet dew.
He's getting married soon too. Nate is getting married October 12th. Unfortunately,
Nice.
I won't be able to be there, but I'll be there in spirit, doing the Meanie dance for you, good sir. But
Awesome.
we're wishing you and Amy the best. Maddie, Mr. Marijuana is here. Meanie, heart eyes. Happy Saturday morning from Australia. Good, thank you good to have you here, sir.
Maddie
Like
Jazz Cabbage.
Yeah, Mr. Jazz Cabbage is here. Nate says it's Friday night here. Maddie's in the future. And who else we got here? Oh, we got Machete. What up, Machete?
I can't do any of my voices, so I'm sorry.
Good thing I got this one right here.
Yeah, cause
I got the board for us. So Cosmic Joe Chronicles is here. Go Ravens. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ike Ikerson. Hey, Blue and Goob. I know who this is. This is Carlo Carlson. You can't fool me, pal. I know who this is. Hope Meanie enjoyed Ireland. Adam, keep doing cool shit too. Thank you. I will.
I over enjoyed Ireland.
Cosmic Joe says BWO for life. And you are exactly right, sir. So we appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the One True Sport YouTube page. There's a button down here somewhere. Go ahead and hit subscribe because we're live every single week. And if you want to, we're live, pal. If you want to get some more exclusive shit, go to patreon.com/Mind of the Meaning. Sign up today. Got a lot on the docket, man. It's been about 2 weeks since we spoke, and I wanted to see if you had a chance since you've been back to take a look at, if I could talk, would be great. First day with a new mouth. If you had a chance to see the Mr. McMahon Netflix documentary and see if you had any thoughts on it.
I have watched all but one episode. I had to right before I came up here, I finished episode 5 of Mr. McMahon, and on the Netflix.
On the Netflix.
On the flicks. And have you seen it?
I've seen up to episode 4, but okay. I'm pretty well versed into exactly like what happened. You know, like I have a good idea.
I've tried to avoid other people's reviews of it because I want to soak it in first. And I'm up to episode 5, and off the top of my head, I like it. I think the documentary did me too with the first my fucking Ireland mouth over here. I really enjoyed it so far. You know, like I said, I haven't watched episode 6 yet. And yeah, I have seen comments online where people are like, "Oh, they don't show us anything new," and I'm like, and I'm watching. I'm like, you know what? This is a really good documentary because there's both sides of a coin. Like if Vince says something that might not be true or accurate, they will show the counterpoint where he's done the other thing. Like one of my, and sorry for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, where he's talked about WCW rating his talent, but then they go and show how he in the early 80s went and took all these different guys from the territories and stuff like that. One of the big eye openers that made me go, oh wow, I never knew that, was the fact that Vince Sr. I feel bad if anybody hasn't watched it yet, but it's been out for a few days now. So yeah, Vince Sr. was initially going to sell the WWF to Gorilla Monsoon,
which is nuts. I had no idea.
Dude, I'm 51. I've been a fan since I was 8. Became a smart mark around 13, 14, age 13, 14 maybe. And never knew that. I've seen almost every documentary, read the newsletters, and pretty well versed in the history of WWF, and never knew Gorilla. I knew Gorilla Monsoon was part of the partnership, the owner,
right, yeah,
and just never knew Gorilla Monsoon was supposed to be on. I will say this. And I said this about the Iron Claw when it came out. I was like, when it comes to the Iron Claw is not a documentary.
Right.
you don't need to fact check it. Now, when it comes to the Mr. McMahon 6-part docu-series, this docu-series was not made for smart marks. It's not made for me and you, people who grew up in the business. This docu-series was made for people who probably have never watched wrestling in their lives.
And that's I don't mean to cut in, but like
please.
That's a really important distinction.
Yeah.
Because I know, like I said, I have a group chat with a couple of my friends. It's Lane and Mike Jr. and Greg Alker, who definitely made out with a mannequin. They're all a part of, I mean, it happens, right? Like sometimes you have a couple drinks, you have a couple that it is,
Maddie staring at me, Swan.
Maddie J, Jazz Cabbage, and then next thing you know, you're taking a mannequin home. These things occur from time to time. But anyway, I digress. Lane is not a wrestling fan. He's very ancillary aware of it, but he is not as versed as like Junior and Greg and I, right? Or you, right? And I'm watching this, and the first thing I thought of was, this is really trying to appeal to like a mainstream audience, right? Because we've heard these stories hundreds of times, right? Vince buying it out from his dad, raiding the territories, Black Saturday. Like they didn't really even talk about Black Saturday, right? But then they talk about WrestleMania and how he leveraged it, and like, all of these things have to be compact into a timeline, and they have to make decisions. These editors have to make decisions on what should be in there and what doesn't need to be in there, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was like within the first 10, 20 minutes, I realized, I was like, oh, this isn't for me, right? Like I'm still going to watch it, but it's not for me. So that's I think, and a lot of people, I think from some of the commentary and things I've seen online, people are like, oh man, there's nothing new in here. Can't believe fucking watching this. It's like,
it's not for you.
It's not for you. The purpose of this is not for you. It's like, this would be for Mrs. Goober, right? She watches, but she's not as versed as we are. So for her to learn these things and find out what exactly the ins and outs, the granularity, if you will, baby, of the wrestling business, that is what that's what this purpose is for. I'm sorry. I mean, I was thinking about that. I was like, it's really important.
Yeah.
So,
and producer Bill Simmons, I think that's his name, Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
Just had during the night the docuseries was released. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his podcast, but he put out like a half hour introductory thing, talking about the making of this documentary. And this is a guy who's made 30 for 30, and the director who's, again, his name is escaping me, directed Lion King, or Tiger King, some kind of cat king. Work with me here, folks.
One of them king movies, though. It was one of them ones, with the kings and shit.
With that said, they said this is probably the most interesting and difficult docuseries. Christmas, thank you.
Yep, that's his name,
Mr. Herms. Yeah, Tiger King.
That's
Thank you so much, man.
We knew it was one of them. We knew it was one.
I need all the help I can get today, fellas. I need all the help I can get. They said it was the most difficult documentary they've, for the process they've had to do. And I think Mr. Herms in there said, "Oh yeah, I got a couple." In all fairness, this documentary could have been 50 hours. Yeah, there's a segment in there where they talk about the cutting room floor stuff. Yeah, they ask each other, "Oh man, what was the hardest scene to segment to cut out?" And apparently they did a thing on Vince promoting the Evel Knievel Snake River jump. And he said that was such a good story, but we had to cut it out. But hopefully, if this picks up enough steam, they do an addendum. Yeah, like maybe throw out like a bonus, whatever, like they did with Tiger King. I had to double check.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's so much even that we know in the wrestling world, right? Like, they talked about Owen Hart, they talked about Chris Benoit, they talked about a lot of things that are like, I guess, taboo in the wrestling industry, to talk about with Vince, and they explored it. And for me, it was like a lot of what I saw initially was that it was, this quote unquote hit job or hit piece on him and that to tell the stories and this and that. I mean, and this is me speaking, right? Like, I'm not speaking for One True Sport or anybody else, but like,
Right.
if to me, it didn't feel like a hit job. It just felt like one kind of linear story where, to be fair, a lot of the best documentaries and news pieces are if he's like, for example, during the part where they talked about the Attitude Era and he was like, oh, we didn't have any guns or knives. And then they cut to a clip with Brian Pillman and the gun with Stone Cold and, those, and then the Val Venus thing, like they cut to all of that and they're kind of juxtaposing those claims. And it's like, that's
Which a good documentarian does.
right. That's exactly what I mean. Like that's what needed to be done to tell the story properly and effectively. And I personally didn't feel like it was a hit job. That's just from an objective, zoomed out, former teenage reporter lens, right? But I don't know. Did you get that feeling at all? I mean, I didn't. It didn't appear like they were trying to have an agenda or anything like that.
I didn't feel like a hit job at all. I mean, just because they pointed out the inaccuracies, that Vince would talk about. I mean, that's what, like I said, that's what any good documentary would do. And there's a lot of things that could have been corrected.
Sure.
When they're talking about you just jogged the memory with the Owen Hart death.
Mm.
And I was there that night, and they're talking about how the show continued with Owen Hart's blood in the ring, and it wasn't Owen Hart's blood in the ring.
Oh,
there was on before every pay-per-view they would have a live Sunday Night Heat, and there was a brewed bloodbath that happened ringside, and one of the wrestlers had put their arm on the ring apron to get up, and that blood got on the ring apron. And everybody mistakenly thought it was Owen Hart's blood. But it wasn't Owen Hart's blood.
I did not know that. I was not.
Yeah, and he said about somebody said something about Owen Hart's blood still being in the ring, and they cut to a scene of somebody walking by, blood on the ring, but it was from Sunday Night Heat, where earlier in the night somebody might have done a bloodbath on Gangrel, maybe I'm not sure, but their arm wiped against the ring apron.
No shit.
Yeah, so it was there, from Sunday Night Heat on.
Yeah. I guess if you look at the rest of the footage, I'm sure it's there, right? It's
if you go on the cock and watch, pull up that Sunday.
Pull up the cock, yo. Yeah.
Hey, I'm on that Sunday Night Heat. Me and Goldust against the Hardys. We had a great match.
We got a couple other comments here I want to pull up. Andrew, Mr. Herm says, my one criticism, having seen the whole documentary, is that the Vince doc needed more Vince McMahon. Honestly, dude, that was another thing I thought about too. And, I think the one thing that might be a valid criticism for me is that, like, it seemed like they were trying to press Vince to be more open and more engaged about himself. And he was very clear from like episode 1, like minute 1, like, I don't talk about myself. I don't want anybody to know who I am. Right.
Right.
But then he's giving you little tidbits, like when he talks about the relationship with his dad and how proud it was finally like his dad was proud of him. And you can see him getting emotional about it in that moment when he's speaking about it. And it's like, that's more of the information that I want to learn about. Right. Like that's the kind of thing that from a wrestling perspective, that's what I want to see. But I think, again, like, I don't even know if I would necessarily call it a criticism, because you can only do so much with what the principal subject wants to give you, right? Vince isn't going to give you what he doesn't want to say, so it is what it is.
And to be fair, I think if I'm watching if I'm thinking right, he said Simmons said the process for this documentary started in 2019. These interviews were from maybe 2021. We're in 2024 now, and Vince cut off all. He stopped, taking questions once all these allegations start coming about that we're hearing about. We've heard about since 2021 on. So I'm sure maybe there might have been things they wanted to ask, but once he gets pulled away and backs out, they probably, but then again, they got over 100 hours worth of interview time with him. So, That said, it's still a good documentary.
Yeah.
You know, you're calling it Mr. McMahon. You wish you had more Mr. McMahon, and I agree. I wish there was more Vince in it. But there's a lot of things in there I learned.
Yeah.
I learned, and some things I've forgotten and relearned. With Vince's father. Giving him Bangor, Maine to start as
Yeah.
as a young promoter, and I enjoyed hearing him talking about his dad. And I pop, anytime somebody talks about Vince Senior, they always talk about the handful of quarters and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Sarge used to talk about Vince Senior in this roll of quarters, and
That's
from
so
all
funny.
accounts, everybody, Vince Senior was universally loved and respected. And to see Vince, kind of tear up, talking about his dad was kind of cool. But yeah, I wish I definitely wish there was more Vince.
Yeah. Mike Jr.'s here. What up, Mike Jr.? He says, I watched the whole thing in one shift of work. And honestly, like I was, I won't tell your boss. Don't worry.
Business.
No, Mike's got a cherry job. He does whatever he wants out there. But he's
Nice.
I did the same thing. Like I was, catching it in between work while I was doing some of my budget work at my shoot job. And it's compelling. Like it does the way that they edited the show. It draws you in. Like it's very well done. It's very, it's engaging. It's enthralling. Like it's definitely something that can keep you entertained for the whole time. But I'm looking forward to going back and watching episode 5 and 6 this weekend. Because I'm curious about, there's been some conversation about Shane McMahon, which will lead into our next conversation. And some of the things that he said. And then also, obviously, the allegations and the lawsuit and things like that. So I definitely want to get more context on that and see how they present that. But let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments here. Let us know what you thought of the Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon Netflix documentary, and we'll be happy to talk about them. But, sir,
yes,
another thing I wanted to talk about is another McMahon who's making the news over the past couple of weeks. One Shane O'Mac. Was the rumor and innuendo, if you will, baby, is that he is Jacksonville bound. A photo of him with the Young Bucks appeared on the Young Bucks Twitter account and their Instagram page this week. The two of them with Shane O'Mac. What are your thoughts about a potential Shane McMahon appearance or, employment joining the other side with AEW? What are your thoughts on that?
I'll believe it when I see it. Just the fact that they happen to run into Shane in the airport. They're doing a show at Arthur Ashe Stadium and flying out of Queens. And I believe Shane lives in New York and uses that airport. So it could have just been a chance encounter.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre took a photo with Jungle Boy at a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
He's not going to AEW anytime soon. So I don't know if Shane wants to totally do. And I'll say this, and he'll show up, and I'll look like an asshole. So, but I would never think, that Shane would do anything that wasn't, WWE related.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure Shane was, flying somewhere, and they just happened to run into him because that's, people from New York, Connecticut use New York airports.
Yeah.
So it's, I think it was just a chance encounter that, they took a photo and Shane's not above, doing things to get people talking anyway. So, Shane's a great dude. I love Shane. And it was great. Like I said, it was great hearing him talk in the Mr. McMahon doc, and I'll believe it when I see it,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
If Shane was going to Jacksonville, I'm sure Tony would have set the private jet and that photo wouldn't have been taken,
Right. That's what it's just, I don't know, man. I know like this business is all smoke and mirrors, right? Like the whole thing is all gimmicks and, this, that, and the other. And, I don't know, man. I don't see it. And again, now I'll say this and I'll look like the asshole when Here Comes the Money hits.
Yeah.
At an AEW show, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't know what the relationship is like, inter family interpersonal between Shane and Stephanie and Shane and Hunter, or any of that. But like, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happen. I think, like I said it 20 times already. I'll say it again. I think it was just it happened to be a chance encounter. In well, they said Queen, so that would be LaGuardia.
Yeah.
So they
Which he lived in New York too, right? I mean, he's in New York.
I want to say he owned a motorcycle shop in New York, or a motorcycle company in New York. And anytime somebody from from WWE would fly, they would use either LaGuardia or JFK.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's no big deal, just to run into somebody at the airport. Hey, when I went going back to my honeymoon, speaking of airports, so we go to the airport, and I'm sitting there at the gate, and Mrs. Meanie goes up to the thing to buy buy some bottled water. And fucking John Oates from Hall & Oates was in the airport.
Oh, no shit.
She texted me. She's like, I think I see Oates. I'm not 100% sure. So she comes back. I was like, well, let me pretend I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I walked by the gate, and fuck yeah, it was Oates.
That's amazing.
Then, it was pretty cool. And I kind of wanted to say something, but I didn't want to blow his spot either.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But it would have been cool because I met Daryl Hall once in the airport, so I would have had two airport photos with Hall & Oates. The time I met each member of Hall & Oates would have been in an airport, but I didn't bother him. I just went back to the gate, and we caught our flight. But hey, I ran into Oates in the airport. I'm not joining Hall & Oates. So.
Right. And Meanie. So actually, how would it be styled? Would it be Hall, Meanie, and Oates, or would it be like, would you get first billing? Meanie, Hall, and Oates.
I mean, he's the vet. He could take the lead.
I guess maybe we could do alphabetical order though, right? Hall, Meanie, and Oates. That would work. You're all Philly guys. Like it. I mean, it's connecting. Yes. And we're scissoring now, apparently. But Junior says here, not like it's a private airport. Yeah, I mean, like Drew McIntyre, Jungle Boy in a photo, like I think you're on the money, sir, if you will. A little bit of did you get that one? Because he's the you got it. But anyway,
51. I get harder. It's harder and harder to fucking impress me. It's just I got, people come up to me like, hey, what do you think? Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll believe it when I say it.
Yeah.
I was always taught by Al, when I trained with Al, he's like, when it comes to the wrestling business, don't believe it until you've been there, seen it, done it, and got paid for it.
Fair.
Yeah. So
makes sense, man.
And that's why the booker is called the pencil, because there's an eraser on the other side, and he can erase you anytime he wants.
Like I said, I'm not holding my breath for a Shane McMahon appearance. And I'll be happy to be wrong, but I'd rather, to be honest, like maybe it's just the fanboy in me. I'd rather see him in WWE. I'd rather see him in some kind of role doing it back with that company. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think he would have a solid spot in the new regime. I don't know. I feel like he could be utilized especially, if they are going to eventually use like Nick Aldis in a wrestling role, right? Like, I think it would be cool to see Shane as like the GM of SmackDown again, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun use of him on screen. But like I said, we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. But the other thing I do believe, sir, real fast, before we get into our favorite segment of the show,
our favorite segment,
our favorite segment, yeah, just a bit of it. Yeah, I'm just making up words now. I'm just making up words now. The arsonist has oddly shaped beat. Jey Uso.
I can't do any voices, brother. I can't do any voices.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Stop showing off.
Gentleman Jey Uso won the World's Intercontinental Championship this past week on Monday Night Raw, and the belt that Meanie should have won, I will take that to my grave, and I will fight that fight with Jeff Jarrett.
I fought for it 3 times,
and you should have won. I'm just going to throw it out there. Yeah. You should have won it. But anyway, I digress. Son of a bitch. I mean, really, it's Double J. So let's be honest. I'm gonna see you, sir. I'll see you.
I challenged Double J. I challenged the Godfather, and I challenged Val Venus for the Intercontinental belt.
I would have loved to have seen a Blue Meanie.
Of course, it's on the secondary show, so nobody saw it, but it's on YouTube somewhere.
It's there. You can watch.
And more people saw the YouTube than the initial airing.
But he won the title. It was a very big moment, very emotional moment in the stand. I want to get your thoughts on Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship, and what do you think? What do you think happens next?
Well, they always say the Intercontinental belt is the launching point for bigger things. Just like back in the day with the, in the Crockett, in the territory days, Crockett, the United States belt was the launching point towards the world belt. WWE, the Intercontinental belt, or WWF, the Intercontinental belt was the launching point towards the World Championship.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just another sign of good faith that WWE is. I mean, not that they would have any other reason not to be, but they have, they trust Jey as a single star and maybe, pushing him more towards his namehood of main event. So definitely a plus. I hate that the belt's being hot potatoed a little bit here. But I'm happy for him. I'm glad it happened. He wins the Intercontinental belt. The Phils clinched the East.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, it was a good fucking start to the week, man. A good start to the week.
I'll say this: we flew from Dublin to Philly, landed at the airport. Our buddy picked us up, and the game was going into the ninth. I was like, brother, I think we can make it to McCuskers. And we got to McCuskers, parked illegally, ran in and saw the final out, and had a couple cheers.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm glad you were able to check it out. Yeah, it was. That's I posted on my Facebook. It was like, man, fucking Phillies clinch. Jey Uso wins the Intercontinental title. I'm down another belt notch in my belt. It's a good fucking start to the week.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm down 15 pounds. Working on it, man. Trying to get back to pre-COVID levels before Papa rediscovered some sweets. And COVID was.
I'm the only person who lost weight during COVID because I stopped drinking.
It was really tough, man. Like I wanted to go to the gym, but I was trying to be extra cautious about being in public because I got little ones and I don't want them to get that shit. And I just fell off, man. And I was like, oh yeah, Courtney's making all these cheesecakes. Let me have this. And then one slice turned into like 100. And I'm like, fuck, where did this weight come from? But
every time I hear somebody say something about the gym, I always think of Tracy Smothers, rest in peace. He says, I dare him to know a guy named Jim, let alone go to one.
Oh my God. Well, I want to quickly, if I may, sir, just as a thought I had come into my head real fast. I'm transmitting it to you via radio signals here. I have a question for you.
I haven't heard any questions in a long time here, so I'm intrigued to what this could be.
I'm about to ask you. It's gonna be a good one. Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Yo, cause
this is a drizzling shit.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie or drop them in the chat here. Let us know what your questions are this week. And Meanie, what do you got for us today, good sir, on the Celtics?
I got the thing I forgot I had in the fridge to begin with. A Polar seltzer, lime seltzer. I had it in the fridge, forgot I had it, and just dripped it all over my laptop.
I was going to say, you got that Philly condensation going on. I know. As soon as I take it out the fridge, man, it's like everywhere. But
it is muggy.
I got one of these sparkling iced Starburst orange flavor, which is my favorite. I'm actually going to Pittsburgh next weekend. And you know what that means? I'm going to taking it all the way back to 2021, going to raid the fucking vending machine for the cheap shit in there and bring a bunch home to throw it back for us.
I got 2 tickets to Pittsburgh.
We're going to crack these Johns here in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Mm.
That's the bottle, not me.
Ooh. Huh. I always wonder if you can hear me ripping them when I'm fucking doing it. When we're live.
If you ever see me go like this,
I'm very subtle, man. I lean over just slightly, like I'm looking like I'm adjusted, and I'm fucking letting it fly, man.
dude, you know a fart's going to stink when it goes.
Dude, I almost messaged you this morning. I'm sitting in my office and I let one go that I think was probably about 30 seconds long, like just pillar to post. I was like, what is happening right now? This is not good. Sounds like an
I
Evan
was
Rouge
showing
just
my
let off a
flight,
boat.
and thank God nobody could hear it. You know,
Oh man, that's the best kind when you're in the airplane and nobody can hear you. It's just like because you're sitting right next to it, so fucking loud, dude. Oh yeah, and the vibrations and
it's
shit.
like when you put a pillow over somebody's head right before you shoot them in the face. Just,
Oh my god! Wait, what are we talking about? Oh my god! All right, let's get these pinkies up here. Cheers, friends.
3, go. Oh, and we did that shit.
That's okay. Oh, such good shit.
I needed that. I
Me
needed
too.
that. I needed that.
I needed it. All
It's
right,
a
let's
little sore.
little parched here. Let's see what we got here going on. We got 2 questions for us today to round out the show. Let's start with Pod Squad member Nate Smythe again.
My man.
My man, dude, congratulations on the upcoming nuptials, sir. Would you rather have the Phillies win the next 2 World Series, but the Eagles suck for 5 years, or the Eagles win the next 2 Super Bowls and the Phillies suck for 5 years? Meaning, I want you to think about this before you answer, sir.
It's fucking rough. Because can we have the Eagles and Phils win the next 2 championships and have the no, the Flyers already suck, kind of, but or we can have the Sixers bounce out of the second round.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I guess I'd have to answer truthfully, but I would love to see. I guess the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to shut some fucking Cowboy fans up. But
Yeah.
oh, we got 5 Super Bowls, and for whatever reason, they refused to acknowledge that the Eagles won 3 championships before there was this thing called the Super Bowl. But because the Eagles technically have 4 NFL championships, but
Yeah.
I digress. To get like 2 more would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, if I'm forced to answer, I would say 2 more Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because I want to say the Phillies because I don't know. I love the Phillies. But then again, like I'm a big Eagles guy too, and I enjoy Philly sports. It's hard. That's a Sophie's choice kind of thing. I mean, that's like
it's rough.
I don't know, man. I guess for the purpose of spiting Cowboys fans, I think I'm with you, man. I think
Hey, check me out. I got 3 Super Bowls on Blu-ray, bitch.
That's right. When was the last time you got a fucking VCR, you fucking prick?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
He's a little viewfinder.
Yeah. What's that like being on fucking Betavision? Jack off. No, yeah, I'm
I had my natural hair color.
Oh, I had no wrinkles on my face. Actually, I don't even think I was 10 the last time they won something. When was the last time they won the Super Bowl?
95?
Yeah, so I was turning 10 that year.
Yeah.
Wasn't even 10. So fuck the Cowboys forever and ever, amen. Actually, that calls for this.
Fucking gang day. Gang burn!
That's right. Fuck the Cowboys. Let's see what else.
F in the
A. Let's see here. Let's go into where are my banners here? Hold on one second. No, this is frozen here. Here we go. Carl Cody Crybaby Hayes says, hey, Meanie, hope the honeymoon was good and happiness and joy to you both.
He said excellent, sir. He said excellent.
Excellent. I'm sorry. I misread the word there. Oh, let me try this again.
Don't cheat me.
Cody Crybaby Hayes says, Meanie, hope the honeymoon was excellent and happiness and joy to you both. Do you have any recent wrestling memories or recent wrestling moments, sweet Jesus, on ice skates that stand out for you, that make you laugh. For me, it's Sammy saying Jay wasn't feeling oozy, and Tiffany Stratton, who he calls Tiffy here, says to Chelsea Green, "Don't you have a ladder to fall off of?"
And that Uzi line was pretty good because
Yeah.
he basically, popped the whole bloodline. But I mean, goddamn, anything R-Truth does,
Yeah.
I don't know how recent this was when he didn't he challenge Paul Heyman to Money in the Bank or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
He's in the ring with Paul Heyman and Brock, and turns around and he thinks he's about to challenge. Everybody thinks he's about to challenge Brock, and he turns around and challenges Paul Heyman. And Paul's like, "What?"
Why would I do this? Yeah.
Literally anything R-Truth does. I love R-Truth. I got to spend some time with him back in 2000 when we all got sent down to Memphis for a little bit.
Mm.
And that guy's just on 24/7. You know what popped me? Okay, here's what. And it wasn't even on WWF TV. It was R-Truth doing live commentary on the Shannon Sharp.
Oh my God!
IG
Yes.
Live. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Somebody put all his replies to the Shannon Sharp IG accident.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
one photo, and dude, that was brutal.
Oh my God.
He's great. He's great.
I have like I didn't watch the live footage,
Right.
but I heard about it after the fact, and I'm like seeing this stuff pop up on my Twitter, and I'm going, oh my God, this is kind of hilarious. Unk is out here, doing the thing. And I'm like, how could this get any more ridiculous? And here's R-Truth. And it's like, and then he does his own version of it. And it's like, dude, what the fuck, man? It was so good.
He's like, he's groaning like an ogre.
Yeah. Unk, he goes, oh, hey, Unk, this isn't PG.
Are they fucking?
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
It's pardon my French. Are they fucking? Oh, R-Truth is a national fucking treasure and also a first ballot Hall of Famer. That guy is. Oh man, the whole place, the whole press box went crazy when he won the tag team titles at WrestleMania this year at Philly. I mean, it was God, man, it was amazing. Yeah, I loved.
When he called Triple H Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Man, it's such good shit, man.
Gold.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other stuff that popped me. I mean, the Uzi stuff was fucking great. Yeah, I guess R-Truth is kind of like the standard bearer of good shit on TV right now. I don't know. He was great in the Judgment Day. Like I know a lot of people were complaining. They were like, oh, it's like Sami Zayn in the Bloodline, but it's like, it was a totally different story.
Yeah.
It's apples and oranges as far as I'm concerned. But what isn't apples and oranges, good sir, is doing. I don't even know if that makes sense. It's a good transition. But it is good to be doing this here with you again each and every week, sir, and to be back with you as well. And we want to thank you for watching live and being back with us now, which I think this is our 5th week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're glad to still be here. We appreciate you being here with us and watching each and every week. But Meanie, I want to know, sir.
Yes,
Excuse me as I belch. Where can everybody keep up to date with all things blue when they're not watching the show?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tout, at Blue Meanie BWO, on all forms of social media. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. Thank you to everybody who ordered this month. It's been killing it this month.
Yep.
Thanks for everybody who goes to ProWrestling.com/Blue Meanie. ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use coupon codes Meanie or Mind. Save 10% over there at collarandelbowbrand.com. MadCatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton, who's doing an amazing job rounding up the cats in his neighborhood, taking them to the vet, and releasing them out in a while better than when they found them. So if you look good and you want to smell good, go to MadCatBeardCare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others. I'm trying not to spoil. For all updates, go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. The figure collections Bone Crushing Wrestlers Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Pick a normal Blue Meanie, if that's such a thing, or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice at shop.figurecollections.com. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast, book the Blue Guy, and let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Book through the site, not through the app. That app takes too much money. If you want to make somebody's day a little bit brighter, book me over there at cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But more importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I want to quickly, before I go into my plugs here, I got to pull this up because this popped me while you were talking. Adam could do the Motorhead Lemmy look with one little shave. My wife would make me sleep in the car if I did that, Maddie, yes. But I appreciate you and your jazz cabbage, sir. We thank you. We appreciate you.
I could use some jazz cabbage right now.
Have some for us both, good sir. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, because I'm never going to fucking call it X. It's never going to happen. Yeah. TikTok and Threads. This is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So go ahead and take a look and follow me in my wonderful world over there. Also, go ahead and check out Foundation Radio, which is my other show at foundationradio.net, and subscribe at youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod. This week coming up, I was lucky enough to join Justin from the Wrestling Classic in his casual conversations with WWE superstar Braun Breaker. And you can hear that episode on
Braun Breaker,
who is a wonderful guy. Got him to pop a couple of times, asked him some great questions about Scott. Yes, we did talk about Steiner Math. So that will be in the Foundation Radio audio feed. So go to foundationradio.net and subscribe and listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite shows. And you can catch the video version of that on Casual Conversations. A friend of yours, sir. A friend of yours is going to join Justin. I don't want to give it away, but it will live in infamy. Oh. So go ahead and take a look when that comes out. I'll give you that information, and you may be a part of that. Yeah, maybe a meanie conversation. I'm just saying. But go ahead and check out Justin as well. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'll be out visiting them next weekend. I'll be seeing my buddy Kane. If you're out there in that area, go and stop and see him or Jordan and the rest of the team. Make your appointment today at 10thwardbarbershop.com. Feinberg Method, feinbergmethod.com. Use promo code Goober and save up to 20% off of your entire purchase. My trainer, Brad Feinberg, is ready to help you with your mental and physical well-being. So go to feinbergmethod.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. Pick up a shirt. Keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to go to Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today. Tiers starting at just $10, Meanie. So you can join us there and get some cool shit we got going on over there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel above Meanie there, youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Go ahead and go over there today. And our entire archive is back there. You can listen to all of our shows as well, too, on the One True Sport Network platform. We're doing some of our old vintage clips, meaning we're uploading some of our favorite moments from our old shows and some of our fun memories from there to give you an idea what we've been doing here at the program for the past couple of years. So we hope you will join us over there as well. Don't forget to go to onetruesport.com, pick up some shirts, go support the network. We're so happy to be a part of this team. It's a bunch of wonderful guys running this and a bunch of wonderful people that we love being involved with. And there may be some fun stuff on the way. Just saying, just letting you know, keep an eye out, go and follow them everywhere you follow anyone. Mind of the Meanie at Instagram and Twitter, same place. You can find us both there. And Meanie, I want to thank you, good sir, for being here every week. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you listening. So thank you for joining us. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order. Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.